My M50 wife, F48, abandoned me 2 months ago to find herself. My wife Mary's family has a history of dementia, developing memory issues in their mid to late 50s. Her mom, grandmother and several other relatives on her mom's side have developed dementia. Her mom lived with us for 4 years until earlier this year. Her father is dead. Our kids are independent and out of the house. Our oldest is in her last semester of college, and our youngest is enlisted. The last 4 years were tough on us. Our kids, daughter moved for college but moved back for a bit during COVID, and our marriage. Living with someone with dementia is brutal. We had talked a lot the last year about taking the remaining college funds, our regular savings, selling or renting the house. We were ready to downsize anyway, quitting our jobs, and traveling for a year or until the money ran out. We just had to wait for her mom to move into a home. I understand her anxiety about developing dementia, and I was burned out. You live through COVID working remotely, a wife working remotely, a college and high school student taking remote classes, and a mill with dementia, and see how you hold up. Space finally opened up, and we were able to move her mom into a care facility. I finally thought I had a chance to breathe. When we moved Mary's mom out, Mary's mental health took a huge downward spiral. I went from caring for her mom to caring for her. She felt guilty about putting her mom in a home and had lots of anxiety about developing dementia. Our plan was to start our traveling in the summer of 2024. 2 months ago, I got home, and she left a note. My friends call it Exhibit A. Basically, she was going on our trip without me. She had quit her job, took most of the savings, and wasn't sure when she'd be back. Maybe a year, maybe sooner. She knew I'd understand. Her location is turned off, and my calls go directly to VM. I texted the kids a picture of the note. We have our own checking accounts for direct deposits of our paychecks, but we'd transfer most into a joint account to pay the household bills and save. We both had access to a main savings account. We have joint credit cards we use for household expenses. The 2 cars and mortgage are joint. We both also have our own small savings accounts, our own retirement accounts, equally funded, and our own credit cards for gifts and fun things. I closed all joint cards and accounts. I waited a month to see if she'd come back, hopefully before she spent our savings. After receiving only 1 text the first month, I went to a lawyer. She basically said there was very little to do right now, other than change the beneficiaries of my retirement accounts and life insurance. Yay, my wife gets nothing else if I die alone while she's having our adventures. It was only a month, and there was no way to serve her papers. My lawyer advised me to keep paying the mortgage and the cars. The cost of trying to get a judge to approve the sale of joint assets was more than making payments. I didn't want to ruin my credit by letting one of our cars get repossessed, but I can't sell it because she's on the title. I get random texts, and she sporadically posts on Instagram. Of course, she has comments turned off. I want to block her so badly, but my lawyer advised me that it's better to maintain a communication channel that's not through our kids. Her last post was from Hawaii. She put in the comments how great a husband I was for letting her take this trip. I'm barely making it paying for 2 cars, a mortgage, household bills, and insurance, hoping there are no emergencies because I have no savings, and she's enjoying our trip. Fair. I'm so pissed at her. I helped take care of her mom for 4 years, and when she fell apart after her mom moved into a memory care home, she returned the favor by abandoning me. I'll never get to take this trip and have to put off retirement. My only solace is the kids are pissed at her, but they'll probably forgive her eventually. Double F her. I'm no fool, she's hooking up with guys. She looks good, she'll have zero problem getting men. I texted her and asked if she was sleeping around, and a week later, she responded that she wasn't sure. So, I'm drinking alone on a Friday night, and she's somewhere, probably on a beach, enjoying life. Triple F her. Edit. My lawyer has given me a bunch of advice and options. It was just way more than I could possibly include in this post. I could definitely push the issue harder, and I might need to at some point, but all that work is very expensive. Finding her, serving her, getting a judge to sign off, that's not cheap. I'm following up soon, and I plan on talking about our savings and my finances. Until I paid all the bills and realized how little was left, it didn't hit me that I had to worry about money. Here is an update from my original post. I'm feeling much more positive now that the financial situation has become a little more manageable. Basically, I'm running up debt that will get paid off when I sell the house. Even with lawyer fees, I have 6 to 8 more months before I have to worry about money, assuming there are no emergencies. My friend's wife gave me some good advice. Don't go from being a hero to a villain in your kids' eyes. How I talk about and treat my wife will determine my future relationship with my kids. I don't give a damn about my wife, but I don't want to make her a sympathetic figure or drive them away from both of us. I followed up with the lawyer. Basically, she said we're going to have her pay back the savings she took through a reduction in her share of the assets. Any division of assets will include the savings she took. She'll also have to repay the money I spent maintaining the household while she was gone. There is plenty of equity in her share of the house, and her retirement plans to cover that. She said that our finances are so intertwined that after nearly 25 years of marriage, my wife is going to get some share of the assets. The best case is she agrees to the terms of the divorce, and it's relatively cheap and quick. Otherwise, it gets complicated and expensive. She gave me a lot of options and how much I could expect to spend, so I decided just mostly to wait. I got a couple of credit cards with promo rates for purchases and transfers, which gives me breathing room, and I can conserve cash. I'll just pay them off when I sell the house. Now that my financial situation is less stressful, I'm actually enjoying her being gone. I'm free to do whatever I want, whenever. I don't have to cook, clean, or take care of anyone. The house is quiet for the first time I can remember. I loved my wife, but her mental health weighed down our marriage. On balance, it was worth it until now. The first month or so, I expected her to be there whenever I'd get home. When someone was at the door or if I heard noises, I'd think it was her. I'd check the doorbell cam obsessively. I'm not looking forward to her returning. It has to happen, but when she comes back, I'll have to deal with her, the divorce, getting the house ready to sell, dividing all our stuff, and finding a new place to live. I'm hoping she'll stay away until after New Year's, but my daughter said she thinks her mom will be home for Christmas, either to stay or visit. My lawyer will have papers ready to serve her. Hopefully, she'll just agree to the terms and continue her travels. She's told her family she won't be home for Thanksgiving. Nobody told her my daughter and I were spending Thanksgiving with her family, though. She can see the posts of us having a good time without her. People had some great advice: renting or selling the house. Not really feasible right now since I'd have to fix some stuff and get it ready to sell/rent. Since I need a place to live, the amount I net each month, rent, mortgage, rent on a new apartment, storage unit equals not worth it. My kids' rooms are still full of their stuff, and I don't want to spend the time and effort to clear them out and put them in storage. Also, she left her keys. I changed the code on the security system, the passphrase, and the password. I also found a new hiding place for the emergency key we had in the backyard. Getting a helic. This was great advice. I didn't realize I didn't need both people to get a loan. If I need more money, I can go this way. In the short term, the promo rates on the credit cards were cheaper and easier than getting a helic, serving my wife divorce papers, or getting a divorce in absentia. This is something I might need to do eventually, but the cost of lawyer fees goes up exponentially in cases like this. I'm comfortable just waiting for now. Look at the phone bill to see where she's at and possibly going. I did look at her usage and noticed that she doesn't post on social media until after she leaves a place. For example, when she posted about Hawaii, she made a call that day that originated in Los Angeles. She posted about a cruise, and I figured out the dates, trying to serve her at the port possibly, but it ended a couple of days before she posted. She tried adding international calling to her line, but I blocked it, so she removed her phone from our account. Update: my wife texted me in the middle of December that she'd be home for Christmas. I told her that we, our daughter and I, would be at my brother's, and she obviously wasn't welcome. I'd leave her car in the driveway and the fob in the backyard. She wasn't allowed in the house unless I was there. She didn't have keys to get in. She spent Christmas with her sister. When we got back, I met with her. I decided not to be overly confrontational because I didn't want to give her the satisfaction of thinking I cared enough to be mad. She was taken aback about how detached I was. I could tell it bothered her that I didn't show her much emotion, not even anger. I just wanted her to agree to a divorce. This is a summary of several different meetings, both with and without our daughter. She hasn't wanted to meet with her mom alone yet. I asked why she left without telling anyone. She said she didn't want to wait a year. She didn't want anyone talking her out of it. She didn't want to work anymore, and she wanted to leave before her mental health got worse. I'm sure it was mostly because she didn't want me to stop her from taking the money. She knew I would take care of everything with the kids and house when she left. We had decided to go in the summer of 2024 for a few reasons. Packing everything and getting the house ready to sell was going to be a lot of work. We wanted to make sure our daughter graduated college, got a job, and was settled. We wanted to make sure we had money when we got back. We wouldn't have a house, cars, or jobs, so we needed money because it could take months to find work and a place to live. We didn't want to have any worries or deal with a mess back home. At some point in our planning, she began questioning, to herself, not me, if she ever wanted to go back to our old life. She didn't want to work full-time or buy a house and stay in one place after we got back. She wasn't sure what she wanted, but she didn't think she would figure it out talking to me. I told her that's the reason we were taking the trip, to figure those things out together, to see what we wanted for the next part of our life. I asked her why she didn't just get a divorce before she left, then she wouldn't have had to do this behind our backs, and she would have had plenty of money without stealing our joint savings. She claims that she didn't want a divorce, that she wanted us to live whatever life she figured out. I told her that's not how marriages work, one person deciding for the other. In talking/texting our daughter, her family, my texts, and voicemails, she realized I might not forgive her. She was right about that, so she might have to visualize a future without me. This is where I had hoped she would say some stupid shit like she was going to squander all her money living in a van and make travel vlogs, or she met some guy that she needed to wire money to so they could open an ice cream shop in Alaska. Instead, she wants to be a digital nomad, working part-time fully remotely, and living in new places. She tried to convince me to go with her, but I'll never be able to trust her, plus I don't love her anymore. Traveling like that for a few years doesn't sound bad, but she doesn't have a job or any work lined up. She's not in her 20s, and that way of living will get old quickly. No close friends, no family. I want her to make it work so she won't be here trying to get back into our lives. And to answer some of your questions. 1. How are the kids doing? Our son wouldn't have seen us the entire time she was gone anyway. He only responds to her with very short texts. He told me she wanted to see him, but he said he was too busy and wouldn't be able to get away. He lives in the barracks, so it's an easy excuse to avoid her. My daughter stopped talking/texting her. She's pretty upset. Her worry turned to anger when she realized her mom wasn't having a mental breakdown but was just being selfish. If her mom was sticking around, they could probably work through it eventually. I just care that my daughter is happy, so whatever she decides, I'll support her. 2. Did she spend all the money? About half. I think she realized she needed to figure it out before she completely ran out of money. 3. Did she sleep with anyone? I didn't ask because I didn't care. Asking would imply I wanted her back, or it would matter. Even though I didn't ask, she claims she didn't. Not sure if she's lying or not. She might just be saying that because she doesn't want the kids to have another reason to be mad at her. 4. Does she feel bad for what she put us through? She claims she does, and she wishes she had handled it differently. She said getting away and figuring herself out was best for her. I told her she was just being selfish. When she first left, we were worried something would happen to her and we would never see her again. She's always been self-centered. I told her she was taking the easy route and letting everyone else handle the difficult parts. If she gets sick, kids will take care of her. Goes broke? Live with family. Abandon everyone? They'll forgive her. She thinks her siblings and our children will let her live with them like we let her mom live with us. I'm sure when she visualizes her future, she sees our kids there. They might not be in the same way they were before. Despite how it might sound, I'm actually really happy with how it all turned out. Our divorce is far from final, but we've agreed on the big things. We'll sell the house, how to split the retirement and profit from the house, how to pay back the money she took, and what I spent maintaining the household. I got most of what I wanted from the settlement, and she'll soon be, mostly, out of my life. I won't have to pay alimony, and because she's choosing to make significantly less money than she was, I won't be forced to support her. That would have been a kick to the teeth. She isn't my responsibility anymore, and I won't have to care for her if she does get sick or goes broke. I figured I'd start dating again. I didn't realize a 50-year-old man with children out of the house, a good job, and in decent shape would be a catch. I'm not fighting women off with a stick, but I've had a lot more interest than I expected. It's been kind of nice meeting new women. I'm not dating anyone who has young kids or wants kids. There's nothing wrong with that, but I've already raised my kids, not that it would matter if they did. I took care of that a while back, and I just recently got everyone out of the house. I've worked out the numbers, and I'll be doing pretty well after everything is settled. I only have to support myself. Not where I wanted to be at 50, getting divorced, and using Reddit as free therapy sessions. But, I'm happier now than I've been in a while. I'm even planning a little vacation of my own. Thank you to everyone who has responded and reached out. It meant a lot. Now on to the next story. Story 2. Wife started texting a college guy, claiming just friends. Now she says a kiss happened but she didn't kiss back. My girlfriend, 34 female, and I, 35 male, have been together for a long time. 13 years to be exact. She and I agreed to hold off on marriage until we were financially stable with stable careers. 13 years in, that didn't quite happen, so we agreed to remain unmarried. During the past year, my girlfriend lost her job as an office manager, which I got for her. And then as a phlebotomist. She was let go after 2 weeks on the job. The firings and also her inability to get a steady job wreaked havoc on her self-confidence. Her self-confidence wasn't that high, to begin with. But after the firings, it took a nosedive. I was there for her as best as I could. I told her that it was only temporary, that those places weren't the right fit for her, and listened to her when she voiced her frustrations. I helped with a resume, suggested a job placement program, etc. For the last 3 months or so. She has been in contact with a guy, a college student who asked for her number and she willingly gave it. He texted her and they met up a few times. As far as she knows, they are continuing to meet. She didn't hide any of this from me. She said he was simply a friend. But later on she said that she had developed romantic feelings for the guy, but she also said she didn't want to lose me and that she simply was continuing to meet with him as a friend. And that nothing physical happened. She said she was just confused. I felt devastated. I'm feeling devastated. I went through all of that denial, grief, anger, bargaining, and acceptance of emotions. Trust is gone. The bond has been broken. What gets me so pissed is the fact that she thinks she's continuing to see the guy as a friend, and as long as nothing physical happens, then it's okay. It's not okay. She's sharing her emotions, hopes, dreams, and life with this guy while having me as a boyfriend. That's not how any of this works. Friends don't go out to dinner and have drinks. That's dating. And it gets better. She said that he's graduating in May and going back to his home country, Japan. She also has another guy friend, whom she frequently meets up with and texts. Right now she's hanging out with one of her 2 friends, and said she'll be back in the morning. I'm moving out. I don't want any part of this BS. I just need to vent and get this out there instead of holding it in and letting it eat me up inside. Due to my housing situation, my brother offered me a room in his home, but the place is not ready. I have to stay here with her until the middle of January. I'm so over this, but it still hurts like hell. How could someone do this to me? I'm not perfect, but I've supported her as best as I can financially and emotionally. I've paid for most of the rent for most of the time we've lived together. I've given her money when she was jobless. I know what I will do, Booty don't know what to do in the meantime. It sucks so much. I can't sleep. I've lost some weight and just don't know what to do. Thank you everyone for your sound advice and kind words. She came back early this morning and we had a huge row. As predicted, the guy kissed her, and according to her, she didn't kiss him back. But she didn't leave his place either. Horse manure, but whatever. I asked her why she didn't go home, and her excuse was that Uber was expensive, lol. She said that if it made me feel better, she would only see him during the daytime and explicitly tell him that it was only a friendship. Sure. But a bit of good news, my brother said I can move in within 2 weeks. I just need to find a day when she's working or out of the place to move. I'm a minimalist, so there's not a lot of stuff. I really hate my ex. I don't ever want to see her or be with her, but it hurts so much knowing she chose someone else over me, 3 years together. We had amazing memories. I was literally the happiest I was in life when I was with her. Every day from our Walmart and Target runs to living with each other, playing video games together, and also having the best vacations, including our first time at Disney World. I still to this day don't know why she cheated. She said she didn't, but the proof and all was there. It's been 4 months, and I've been a lot better mentally and getting more fit. I can't believe after getting a new job she instantly fell in love with someone else. I didn't know she was doing things behind my back with him. Reading the messages between them when I found out hurt me. She would tell him how she wasn't happy and that I was annoying and she was depressed. She really seemed fine to me. I took her out to events/dates just a few weeks before D-Day and she rested her head on my shoulder while we enjoyed our time together. After finding out and telling her to get out, she told me things about why she did what she did. She said she needed time to love herself and she was depressed. I wasn't loving her so much, I didn't pay enough attention to her problems and the app did. He would message her saying he promised never to hurt her and called her his queen. After being together for 3 years, the natural honeymoon stage is over and that's when we become adults and think about life and our future. Now, yes, I do regret not showing her enough love and paying attention to her problems. I felt horrible after she told me all this. It hurt me when she said she knew I would have cheated if I could, that I'm a narcissist while I sat there crying and hurt while she had no emotion. She looked annoyed. When I would mention breaking up with her when we argued she would hold pills and threaten to kill herself, but she was calm when I kicked her out. Months later she tried talking to me and begged me to talk with her because she was depressed, but I ignored her because I knew my worth. Now after getting herself together and being with the app, she actually stopped reaching out to me. I'm glad she stopped, but it also confused me. It hurt seeing posts from the app saying how she made him happy, how he promised to show her the world, to be there for her at her darkest times. It made me sit back and wonder how much I should have actually listened and read her emotions. I just get these random sad moments and I blame myself for everything. I even admitted to everyone, even God, mistakes I had made. I hate her, but I still told everyone about the good she did for me before. I'm not a negative person and wish the best for everyone no matter what. I didn't deserve to be hurt like this, but everything happens for a reason. Like I said, I knew right from wrong and I never treated her badly. We had our ups and downs and I admit I said hurtful things to her, even bringing up her past, which she lied to me about at the beginning, that had to do with some type of incest. I don't want to say what exactly, but it has to do with that category, and she was willingly doing it. I definitely learned from all this. I know what to do and how to treat the next woman in my life, but I'm in no rush. It just hurts knowing she's happy with someone else and so is he. I miss the girl I met 3 years ago, but I don't miss the cheater in her.